to this episode of Culture and Cigars. I'm your host, Demetrius Holland. Just want to say thank you to everybody who's been following me and subscribing me and leaving me your positive feedback. Uh, I appreciate the love that has been shown to this podcast. This week, we're going to talk with Darius Bagwell. Introduce yourself.
Hey, what's going on, man? My name is Darius Bagwell, Clarksville, Tennessee. I'm here with my boy Demetrius, man. I've known this guy a number of years now. I'm just happy to be on the show, man.
Yeah, that's what's up. We up here at Up and Smoke Cigar Lounge on 109 Hatchet Lane in Clarksville, Tennessee. Smoking on a cigar. So tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your background before we get into the later stuff.
Well, like I said, man, I'm from Clarksville, raised here, been here all my life. Graduated from Ross Street back in '06. Of course, I went to Austin Peay State University right here in my hometown. Graduated with my degree in marketing. I'm a family man. I have a beautiful wife, a beautiful daughter, who I love very much. And more than anything else, man, I just love helping individuals, entrepreneurs, anybody with their own business that wants to grow. This is what I'm here for, man. Marketing is what I love to do.
Okay, you said you got a degree in marketing. What made you choose that degree?
Oh boy, I'm almost too nervous to say it, but one of my favorite movies back in high school was Boomerang, starring Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
And Eddie Murphy was a playboy.
Yeah.
Which, when you were a kid, that's what you want to be. And he worked in marketing. So I figured if I work in marketing, I'm surrounded by beautiful women. I could be around beautiful women all the time, hopefully get to know them.
Yeah.
But obviously that turned out my way, the women part.
Yeah.
But the marketing part, I just say, you know what, maybe I could offer something that, a lot of people can't offer.
Yeah.
Especially in the age today where there's a lot of technology around us. So I just say, you know what, I'm just gonna stick with it. And if I get a job, cool. If not, let's go out and do my own thing.
Do you think it's hard finding a job with that degree?
It's not. It's to have a college degree, period. I think it's hard.
Yeah.
A lot of businesses don't want to pay for the value of their employee.
Yeah.
So if you have a college degree and there's something that you can offer, start your own company. Because you can offer something to somebody.
Yeah.
And somebody needs a service of some type. So for me, I've always been working with individuals for the last couple of years as an independent marketing consultant. Currently, right now, I'm working with Joe Shakinab, who's a motivational speaker, things like that. He's an Austin Peay graduate as well. I'm also working with Anthony Taylor Productions, who's very, very good at what he does. So anybody that needs a motivational speaker, contact Joe Shakinab. Look him up on Facebook, as well as Anthony Taylor Productions. Look him up on Facebook. These guys are great at what they do.
So, you said y'all work as a team, or you just work with them?
I work with them.
Okay.
But it's you can say we do work as a team. Me and Anthony, we are collaborating with Joe to help him build his name, build his brand, and everything like that. He's also an author, a poet. So, he has material to offer to young people. That's what he really wants to target, is young people. And, me and Anthony, we're like two peas in the body. He focus on the visual aspect, I focus on more behind the scenes and things like that.
Yeah.
But, hey man, this you can be independent, but you can also work in a team concept for the greater good of whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah. So both these are based in Clarksville?
Both of them based in Clarksville.
Okay. Yeah, maybe we can get them on the show.
I want to know.
Okay. Yeah, but what you said something that I agree with, like uh, companies, because I'm more into the church, so I notice like churches they want a pastor with like a master's or a doctorate, but they don't want to give master or doctorate type of money. So I can see how I can understand that too, but I thought it would be different in the corporate. But do you really feel like we really need degrees now since Trump's in office and he had no experience? So like, why do we got to go to college?
You know what? Times has changed.
Yeah.
Times has changed. I mean, I'm a firm believer that a college degree will bring value to you, but I believe ownership is key.
Uh-huh.
You know, you can have a college degree and work with somebody who has an eighth grade education,
Mm-hmm.
and you say to yourself, "Well, I have this degree, but I'm working with somebody who I know I'm smarter than."
Yeah.
And that's the difference, between book smarts and business smarts.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who has business smarts, they're going to be more successful because they understand how this world works.
Yeah.
You know, so you can't never really judge, people based on their education or anything like that. But again, if you want to work in the corporate world, you want to move up the ladder, more power to you. Just know that if you go off and start your own company, you dictate every aspect of your company. And not only within your company, but outside of your company. You can dictate your lifestyle, you can dictate your time. You own all of it.
Yeah.
Nobody has to tell you where you have to be or anything like that. So that's what we need to start focusing more than anything else. Go to college, get your degree, but outside of college, when you're done, what are you gonna do next?
Yeah.
Are you gonna sit back and wait for somebody to give you a job, or are you just gonna create your own job?
Yeah. So do you think that what you learned in college, like your degree program, is that what helped you have this mind frame of what you're trying to do now, or you learned? I'm basically saying, did your degree really help you?
Well, this is what my degree helped me was terminology.
Mm-hmm.
But the real education is outside the classroom. You're around entrepreneurs, you network, and they'll tell you. A lot of times it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in college, I had a professor. He basically said, what you do in this classroom doesn't always translate into the real world.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to make decisions that's best for you. And for me, I already had my mind cleared, had my mind made up that I was going, if I couldn't get a job in working marketing, which being from Clarksville, the way our city is growing, they're gonna need people like me eventually.
Uh-huh.
But until that moment comes, I'm just gonna just do me.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna reach out to individuals who want who want my service, and we can go from there.
Mm-hmm.
If not, I'm cool with that. But at least I'm out there trying. When you first start out, it's gonna be hard at first.
Yeah.
Until you start building a reputation, and that's when you need to sit back and just wait for people to come to you.
Okay. Okay. So, tell me a little bit about your company.
All right, so my company that I'm co-founding with two other individuals, it's called NuClassik.com. This is a company that's been in the making for over a year now. A friend of mine that I grew up with named Delano Screen, he came to me with the idea that he wants to start a social networking site for independent artists and entertainers. And with anybody who has a passion for the arts, I'll work with them. And we started out, he had a web developer
Mm-hmm.
that he was in contact with. He said he was going to be down. Time goes on, he kind of drifted away until he was completely gone. So from, I say around April all the way up till February of this year, it was dead in the water.
Mm-hmm.
Then, back in February, I just get a text from him saying, we're having a meeting this Friday. Can you stop through?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I stopped through. And he had everything laid out, and he brought on another web developer named Zach,
Mm-hmm.
who's talented,
Yeah.
needless to say, very talented in what he does. And we sat down and we just came together. It's like, all right, this is for real now.
Mm-hmm.
This is for real. The site will be launching soon,
Mm-hmm.
real soon. We're just waiting for confirmation from the state and everything like that. But we've been getting a lot of phone calls, People are waiting. This networking site is different. You could have Facebook, you have the LinkedIn's and Instagrams, Snapchats, Twitters. But we've pretty much taken everything into one. And on top of that, you can sell your product through our site and you'll get everything back to you. We're not taking anything from your sales.
Yeah.
All they're going to do is charge you a subscription fee. And if you want to advertise, promote, that's extra as well. But we're giving a platform for these talented individuals to shine.
Mm-hmm.
You build your following, build your brand, do everything that you need to do to make sure that you're successful. And that's what we're all about.
Okay. So say like, I'm an artist and I want to come to your site. All I gotta pay is the subscription fee,
Yes.
and then while I'm on your site, I could sell my product.
You can sell your product.
And is it like a way to, like, I guess what I'm trying to get at is like, say like, if I post it on your site, would it automatically post on my Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat?
You can have people link.
Mm-hmm.
You can say, you have your different links in different social networking sites. But for NuClassik, we really want you to leave it on our site. Because we want you to have everything that you need through us.
Yeah.
Instead of always sending people, your followers, to like, yeah, follow me on Facebook, you follow me on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Do it on NuClassik.
Yeah.
Do it all in one place so you don't have to keep up
Mm-hmm.
all these different social networking sites, social media sites. So that's what we really want you to understand as an artist. The subscription fee is going to be $7 a month. If you want to advertise either a single or album, anything like that, it's going to range from 30 to 150, things like that. But it's going to be something different, new and exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to give it all away, but just know that once you see it for the first time, you're going to be hooked on
it.
Yeah. And even with local businesses, talent management companies, independent record labels, we have business accounts as well.
So is it only for entertainment?
No, I'm telling you, it's for everybody.
Everybody.
We have 3 different accounts. We have our artist account. We also have our business account, and we have our fan account. The artist account and business account, we're charging monthly subscriptions for.
Mm-hmm.
The fan account is free.
Okay.
So if you're a fan of music and you want to follow, the underground artist, what's your favorite rapper, your favorite country artist, pop artist, you can do that. So you can do anything that you see on every different social media sites, you can do with us, as well as you can buy their material right then and there. And if the artists, want to give it away for free, they can do what they want to.
Yeah.
So it's all about them.
So the artist though, all he got to do is pay you for the advertising, but all the money he get from his sales is his.
It's
his or hers.
His or hers.
Yeah.
And of course, there's going to be taxes and fees involved with that. But we're not going to take anything from the actual sales itself.
Okay.
So I think that's what's going to make us stand out more.
Yeah.
Because you always have artists say on Facebook, on Instagram, they always send you to iTunes, they always send you to YouTube to check out the videos and everything like that. Just do it with us. Zach is a great web developer who's putting all this together. Delondas, who came up with a brilliant idea. And me, I'm just focused on getting the name out there
Yeah.
by the end of the day, and we want people to come onto our site. You can also check. We do have a Facebook page set up. You can check us out, NuClassik. It is spelled NuClassik.
Okay.
So that's how you spell NuClassik. That's how you check us out. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, so we can keep you updated about everything that's going on. But once we launch, we're going. It's gonna be a non-stop ride for all three of us.
Okay. Say, I'm a fan on the site, and you follow the ones you want to follow. Like I could follow a business, I could follow artists.
You can follow pretty much. You can follow other fans if you want to. So it's not just a communication from artist to fan. Now the business account, that's different because that's going to be strictly networking between the artist and the business itself. So the communication will be between the artist and the fans.
So the artist can talk to his fans.
Yes, and as well as the fans can communicate with other fans.
Yeah, so you could kind of create like I know it seemed like a bad term, like a cult following, like all your fans communicating like
and here's another thing too that's gonna be different about us. We know the genre that you're part of.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is that we're going to help you reach out to those who are interested in that particular music.
Okay.
You know how you get on Facebook and they suggest friends because you have a couple of friends in common. We're doing that for the artists.
Yeah.
So they don't have to just put it out there and just hope people come and just look at it. They can actually reach out to those people and they could send them a message or do a post on their homepage, say, introduce themselves, tell them what they're all about, have them check them out. They got samples of music they want them to listen to. Do you?
Yeah.
But one thing about us, we're not gonna do all the work for you.
Yeah.
You have to put in work yourself.
Yeah.
You still have to do your shows and all that like that. But best thing about it is, like I said, you create that following, you can post your tour dates, you can post, your videos, photos, anything like that, and build your brand.
Yeah.
That's what we want you to do. Build your brand. We want you to make it.
Yeah.
So that's what we're all about.
Okay, let's talk about the business side. Say, is it a way like to help people get more on your website? Like, will it be like if you buy this on NuClassik, you get like 10% off or something like that?
The artists can dictate their own pricing.
Yeah.
We don't control their pricing.
Okay.
Whatever they want to do, they can do. All that we want to charge the artists to do is we want to charge the artists a subscription fee. If they want to advertise, they can advertise. If they don't, it's on them. But the artists they'll dictate their own prices. It's on them.
Yeah.
Now we might suggest pricing, 99 cents a song or maybe $10.99 an album, whatever like that. But you control your own destiny.
Okay.
We're not here to interfere in your work. We're just giving you the platform to shine.
So like, if they put, how you said they could buy the music off there.
Yeah.
Say, on some platforms, you go on there, you play the music and stuff. But can you do that on your site? Like you could play the music and not buy the music, or you got to buy the music to play the music?
Well, you have to pretty much what you have to do is the artist probably could do samples to where they can give out to the fans and say, here's a sample of my songs or whatever like that, and give them the opportunity to buy the music. Because you don't want to sell music nobody's ever heard of before.
Yeah.
So I would suggest artists, put out a little sample of your work, let the fans hear it, see if they like it or not, And if they do, they'll buy it. If they don't, no.
You think I think it'll help, but do you think it'll be rough when you could get music like on iTunes and stuff? You just pay a $10 subscription fee and you can stream all the music you want for free.
Well, here's the thing. We're more focused on the artist because one thing about iTunes, they take a cut of themselves.
Yeah,
And that's the thing, see, from a fan standpoint, you know,
it works. Yeah,
it'll work. But from an artist standpoint, you're already taking this much from me,
yeah,
and this is my material. So with us, we're just saying, hey, listen, we want to treat you like the artist that you are. We're not taking cut of your work.
hmm
We're not doing it. You know, and like I said, the fans they could the the artist can itself put out the music for free.
yeah,
You know, so I never understood why artists would go to a site. I'm not saying anything bad about iTunes or anything like that, but go to a site and put their stuff on their site and have the company off top
yeah,
take whatever it is that you're selling.
yeah,
I mean, I know, and the thing about it is, man, this all comes down to traffic.
hmm
That's what's gonna make the company valuable,
yeah,
traffic. And we want the fans to understand that, listen, these people are working hard for their livelihood,
yeah,
and we want them to understand that. But like I said, the artists can do what they want to do
yeah,
on our side.
yeah. So what you probably can't, you probably don't know, but what motivated him or your co-founder to want to do this?
Well, he was an independent artist himself,
Okay.
rapper, and he just kept talking about how hard it is just to make it.
Yeah.
You have to really be dedicated to it. You have to constantly work. You have to constantly travel. Book yourself at gigs, whether it's open mic or some type of club or whatever, just to get your music heard. And a lot of artists don't understand that.
Yeah.
They think you just do it in your city and that's that. But there's a whole world outside the city
Yeah.
that you live in. And if you don't have that, it takes one hit, pretty much. Really one hit. Then after that, whatever you put out, people are going to buy it and listen to it because it's you.
Yeah.
But the work that goes into becoming somebody, it's tough.
Yeah.
And we want them to know that it's not going to, it's still going to be tough because you still got to do the work,
Mm.
but we're just taking some of that load off of you.
Yeah.
So you can reach people from the comforts of your home, laptop, computer, whatever.
So will this it's gonna be an app too?
There will be an app to it. We're focused on the site. Then after we get the site up, we're gonna focus on the app.
Okay. Okay. So do y'all I know y'all help get the music out there, but do you help them with their branding or no? That's up to them.
Like I said, this is really up to them. That's why you want to advertise yourself. Um, and like I said, it's not just for the artists, but it's also for entertainers,
Yeah.
like comedians and things like that. We want to help local independent artists, but in terms of helping them get the brand,
Mm.
listen, we'll keep an eye out. One of the ideas that Delana had was doing a song of the week.
Yeah.
Each co-founder is going to put out a song of the week. So if you have something that's got our ears paying attention to you, we're gonna say, hey, listen to this guy,
Mm.
listen to this woman, because what they got right now, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
So we can help out in some regards, but like I said, we're not gonna do all the work for it. We're not a record label that pretty much just want to put all this money into you and give you an advance, and hopefully you'll do what you're supposed to do, so we can get all that money back
Yeah.
before you start seeing anything. But like I said, this is a platform. Social media, social networking sites are taking over today's society. So it shouldn't be a problem for you if you put in the work.
Yeah.
You gotta put in the work. I can't stress that enough. Put in the work, you will do just fine.
Okay. So, what's your vision for your company?
Well, pretty much it's just not my vision, but the other two co-founders.
Mm-hmm.
Is to be great at what we do. You know, and one thing about any company that you start, you want to make money. It depends on you how hard you work and how well you work with other individuals, how well you put your team together and everything like that. But we want to be at the top. We want to be on the same level as a Facebook and as an Instagram
Yeah.
when it's all said and done. Because we see where this company can go.
Yeah.
It could be 2 years from now, it could be next year, it could be 5 years from now, but we see it.
Mm-hmm.
We see it being this big company.
Would you say it's harder or more challenging to start a company based on the internet, the web, as opposed to one started with brick and mortar?
It's a lot easier to start it on the internet
No.
because everything is through word of mouth on the internet. People are always talking about what's next,
Yeah.
technology, what's next, what's that new thing everybody is on, what's that new thing everybody's using. So technology pretty much, let's put it this way, you don't have to put so much into marketing your company on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
There's platforms out there for you to do it.
Yeah.
Now when it comes to an actual physical location, if you don't brand your name, nobody will know who you are.
Yeah.
You don't know where you are. So you have to put in all this work, and not only that, but you have to pay for if you have to build the building from the ground up, or you have to purchase the building, then you have to go through all this decorations and fees, and you got to get clearance and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. But if you believe in it, do it. I wouldn't tell anybody not to do it. Just know that it's gonna be tough in the beginning. But be patient. It's gonna happen. Just be patient. Keep working at it. Then once you get comfortable to where everything's going the right way, start at the second location.
Yeah.
Continue to branch out. Don't make it so bigger from within. You make it so bigger from without.
Yeah. So is this like your only, like what's some future plans that you have besides this?
Right now, I'm still a marketing consultant independent, so I still want to work with local entrepreneurs to help them build their brands and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, NuClassik, I'm focusing on that as well. But pretty much, man, it's focusing on marketing.
Yeah.
For whoever wants it, they could contact me. They could hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. Darius Bagwell. And I reply, man. I answer anybody at all.
So if you, so like, if say I wanted you for marketing, you would help like someone like say I need you to market my podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You would help like someone like me, or it got to be a company.
No, I know somebody like you.
Yeah.
It could be a company, it could be an individual. I'm not one of those people that just want to turn people down just because.
Yeah.
We all want to work, we all want to eat.
Yeah.
So the old saying, beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah.
Until you get to the point to where you could carefully dictate your moves. But right now, I work with anybody.
Yeah. Okay. So going back to NuClassik, Like, say, for example, me
Mm-hmm.
with my podcast,
Mm-hmm.
y'all will have a section for podcasts too.
Yes, that'll be one of the next phases that we were just talking about that the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Delon's and Zach, we just said, hey, we got thinking about doing podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
And we all just like, wow, that's kind of creepy because we all thinking,
Mm-hmm.
future. Phase one right now is focused on music. Then phase two, we focus on other forms of entertainment. So comedy, podcasts, all that will be within the next phase.
Okay.
So we want to focus on music right now. Then we'll let people, phase two is up, come on, join with us. You have your own show, put up on our site.
Mm-hmm.
You could, like I said, you could reach your target demographics, through us. So it helps, us, it helps you
Mm-hmm.
grow.
Yeah.
That's what we all about, growing.
Okay. But on phase one, the businesses is included in that one too, in phase one?
Yes, the businesses right now we're focusing on is managing companies, independent record labels, photographers, videographers. That's what we focus on that first phase. Then phase two, we're going to other forms of businesses as well. But I would say this, if you have a business, whether you have your own local real estate company, you have your own podcast, radio show, whatever it is that you have, you can actually advertise through us.
Mm-hmm.
So you can still be a part of it. Then when the phases come, just sign up
Mm-hmm.
and just go ahead and go to work.
Okay. Okay. So like, I don't know, like, how long would y'all advertise? Say like, if I purchase an advertising spot, like, so if someone go onto your site, like at the top, it'll be Coaches and Cigars podcast.
Mm.
That's how it works.
Yeah, we'll have it up at the top.
Okay. How long will it be on there?
It'll depend on the package.
Okay.
So it depends on the way we're still figuring that part out when it comes to the pricing. We good. How long? We're still trying to work that out.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say, hopefully, with the $30 package, hopefully we can do it for like 7. I want to do it as long as we possibly can.
Yeah.
I would like to do it for a month,
Uh-huh.
but I know with the competition and everything, that's going to kind of run rapid.
Mm-hmm.
So we're still working on that so much. But I know with Facebook, you can do it for one day.
Yeah.
Like, so much for one day.
Yeah.
I would like to start out with at least a week
Yeah.
for you to advertise yourself in, so that everybody can see.
Yeah.
That's one thing that didn't teach us in marketing. I've learned on my own is that it's not about what you hear; it's about what you see. If people see it, it's in their brain a lot longer than what they hear.
Yeah.
So advertising is key.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta invest in yourself, invest in your company, and be visual. Be visual, man. But like I said, we're still working out that side of it when it comes to advertising.
Mm-hmm.
But we will have an answer shortly.
Yeah, I could see the benefit of this because advertising your own podcast, you gotta do a lot of work. You gotta go Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. And I don't really like posting a lot, but
Right.
if you want people to know about it, you gotta, like you said, if they see it, they'll be like, man, what is this about? And then they might click on it or whatever. So it do seem like it would be easier just to get an advertisement and it's up
Do
there.
everything on that site,
Yeah.
so you don't have to continue to spend money on different websites, anything like that.
Yeah, and then you don't gotta keep posting daily yourself. It'll be up there for a week. So, okay, we talked about the advertisement. We talked about how long of like your subscription plan. That's monthly?
That's monthly.
Okay.
That's monthly.
But it's an option if you want to go ahead and pay a year.
Yeah, we will have the option up. So if you want to go ahead and pay a whole year, we'll have the option up for you. So you don't have to worry about, I'll send you a reminder that your subscription's on. So you can just focus on the testing end.
Okay. So, but you said the fans is free?
The fans are free.
Okay. And businesses, theirs is different than an individual?
Yeah, they'll still pay a subscription fee, but
Mhm.
the whole purpose of the business accounts is to help them network
Yeah.
with other, it could be with other businesses, artists, entertainers, things like that. Because for them, it's strictly about business, So we want them to see the benefit to being on our site as well, to where if you have a specific company,
Mhm.
you could target a specific artist and entertainer,
Mhm.
and you could network with them. You can do whatever it is that you want to do. Um, One of the sites that I'm currently on still to this day is LinkedIn.
Mhm.
LinkedIn is $1 billion company, but at times you can make connections with somebody.
Mhm.
Most times, more times than not, and you don't hear from them.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, this person had this many connections, and that's that.
Yeah.
For me, that I'm not. We make a connection. This is supposed to be a business site. Let's do business, but not just for a connection or anything like that. But for us, it's really for you to go out and network with other um, artists, entertainers, and entrepreneurs as well.
Okay. So, okay, like you know how like the independent artists, they probably mainstream artists too. Most of their money come from shows.
Mm-hmm.
So is it a special package for like club promoters, someone that way, like say like I gotta host this party and I need to find out I need to get some good artists.
Mm-hmm.
I could if I'm a promoter, do I got like a special subscription name so I could find artists or not?
If you're a club promoter, obviously you probably already have connections already. But if you're really trying to find new artists, talented artists, you can sign up with a promotional company with us. And like I said, it's still gonna be the same. It might change. We'll talk about that. But we really want for you to treat this like this is a business. So you pretty much invest in yourself. You can get the name out there. Even with that, like I said, the artist might contact the promotional company, especially if they're in the city that they're trying to be at, see what they can do for each other.
Yeah.
So that's what we're trying to do is that we're trying to make you view this as, this is not a hobby that you're doing.
Yeah.
You're doing this to make money.
Oh, you heard that too? Like I was talking to Reason Garrett and he said if it don't make money, it's just a hobby.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when I heard that from Joseph Q-Net, he told me that. It's all about money by the end of the day.
Yeah.
And you got to invest in yourself. And that's something that I think a lot of artists don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
That it's more than just putting out music.
Mm-hmm.
You got to really invest in yourself if you really want to make music.
Yeah.
Or comedians as well. You got to figure out ways to get your name out there. Figure out different ways.
That's one thing. How would it work with a comedian? Because with an artist, they could put their music, but how can a comedian promote themselves on your site?
Well, like I said, they could do like with other social networks. They could post, they could put up videos, things like that. One thing they can do is if they have comedy albums or they have like comedy DVDs that they want to do, they can actually put it up, on our site and sell it.
Yeah.
Instead of just putting out just videos or anything like that, to where you just want people just to view it.
Yeah.
Because views don't really make money like you think they do.
Yeah.
By the end of the day, it's like, what's the purpose of you putting up yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's trying to gain an audience so when you do go out, people know who you are,
Mm-hmm.
or are you just putting up stuff just to put up stuff. So if you're a comedian, once we get to that next phase, and you want to, if you have comedy albums, which I think is going to come back eventually,
Yeah.
DVDs, you do a show and you want to do a little special at the club or whatever, you have a little DVD that you want to put out, by all means, sell it through us.
Mm-hmm. What about dancers? Can they use your site?
Dancers, we never really thought about the dancers because what exactly are they going to do? I mean, they could have a business account.
Yeah.
They could do it that way, so where they can network with artists and hey, I need backup dancers, anything like that. I would suggest dancers use a backup a business site. You know, you have a dance team or a dance company. Use a business site, network with the artists, network with them. If they're doing videos, they're looking for, backup dancers.
Same with models too.
Same with models.
Okay. So, what about people say like, some people they call them boutiques or whatever. They sell clothes.
We actually discussed that where you could do that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it's more. Right now we're focusing on the music, but one of our models is bringing everybody together.
Yeah.
So if you're a fashion designer and you have clothes that you want to put out, and there's artists out there that need wardrobe, there you go. Do that with them.
Yeah.
And they might wear, if they put out a video on a site and they see what, they wearing your stuff, boom, that's just like free advertising for you.
Yeah.
So all of this comes down to networking and building your brand.
Mm-hmm.
Create your following, create a marketing called word of mouth.
Yeah.
Which is the best form of marketing you can ever have. Because if people know about you, they hear about your stuff, they want to run to it. Say, hey, I need to check this guy out.
Yeah.
Just how Drake became famous.
Mm-hmm.
Strictly through word of mouth. His underground stuff. So that's what we're trying to do. We want people to come together and enjoy themselves, network, build their brands, and really make something of themselves.
So what made did you learn that going for your marketing degree that networking is important?
I learned that outside of work. Like I said, when you in school, you learn terminology.
Yeah.
Outside of school, in the real world, that's when your real education starts.
Mm-hmm.
My grandfather in St. Louis, when I started going to school in St. Louis, he took me to functions.
Mm-hmm.
Where you have to wear a suit or a tuxedo, anything like that. But it shows you firsthand how he makes his money.
Yeah.
And for me, in the back of my mind is that okay, I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Shake their hands, you have a brief conversation, and if you able to offer something to them, they'll keep that in the back of your mind. And to me, networking is very, very key to your success.
Yeah.
It's a vital part of your success. Just who you know can get you further along than what you know.
Yeah.
So network.
So what if someone has the mentality, can you be self-made and network at the same time? Because some people they want to feel like I did this on my own.
They have that ego thing.
Yeah.
Knowing you could be self-made and still network. Because like I said, your circle, the business circle, says a lot about who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And who you want to do business with.
Mm-hmm.
By the end of the day, we all in this to make money.
Yeah.
Even though you're a self-made billionaire, self-made millionaire, you still want to connect with other people and don't have to be in the same industry. It could be outside of the industry that you're a part of.
Mm-hmm.
Because you might be able to offer something, they might be able to offer something to you to bring your value up even more. So if you self-made, yeah, continue to go out there, continue to meet new people. Because hey, listen, for me, I'm still trying to get my value up. I'm still meeting people every day,
Yeah.
and I want. I'm not gonna say my whole thing is I want to be self-made, but I want to be the guy that say I did that. The money is just a bonus to me.
Yeah.
But I want to be the guy that say I did that.
Yeah. So it's more about being successful and prosperous.
That's really tough because you can have a little both. You can have a little both. It just depends on what you're trying to achieve by the end of the day. And how can you define success? Each person is different. They say success. It's the money or it's doing what they love to do. Um, to me, I'll define it as doing what I love to do and getting the money at the same time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But I agree with that too. But sometimes you could be successful because you're doing good. Whatever you're doing is doing good, but you're not making no money.
That's why I said the money come with it too.
Yeah.
That's why I said the money has. I never really. I mean, success. Like I said, man. If your goal is to be a teacher, and you are a teacher, you're getting paid to be a teacher.
Yeah.
You might not be much,
Yeah.
but you're getting paid to be a teacher. So if your goal is to be, say, you want to own the largest, I don't know, retail store on the face of the planet, and you achieve that, and the money is coming with it, that's success.
Yeah.
And at the same time, whatever you do with that success falls on you because you're gonna get tested every day.
Yeah.
The struggle never stops. Even though you can pay your bills, still have a roof over your head, clothes on your back, shoes on your feet, you still gonna face struggles.
Yeah.
It could be mental or emotional, anything like that. But you have to understand that what direction you want to go in. Man once told me that the most successful people are usually the ones not at home.
Yeah. I'm learning that too. If you really want to be successful, you gotta sacrifice a lot.
You gotta sacrifice, man, and whoever your spouse is, or in a relationship, they have to understand that in the beginning, it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of sacrifices. You might not spend time with each other like you used to, but if you go through this storm and you get to the end and you see the light, whatever went through in the past, you can forget about that because you was focusing on this one goal to where now you can dictate what you want to do. You can dictate, I'm gonna spend more time with my family.
Yeah.
I sacrificed a lot. I wasn't home as many times as I wanted to be. But guess what? I'm here now, and now I'm gonna give my time back to my family.
Okay.
Still, you want to still make that money. Still want to, continue, bringing money back into the household and everything like that. But now you're at a place to where you're not going as hard as you used to.
Okay. Before we close out, tell them once again what's the name of your site. Do y'all have a launch date?
Don't have it. It will be real soon. I will post that on Facebook on NuClassik.
They won't follow you on Facebook.
Follow me on Facebook. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. It's NuClassik NuClassik, and we'll keep you updated about everything that's going on.
If they wanted to follow you on What?
Just Darius Badger. Just
Okay.
hit me up on Darius Badger. You'll find me. If any entrepreneurs out there looking for a marketing consultant or a marketing expert, just hit me up on one of those social media sites. Look me up under Darius Badger.
Okay. Normally, I try to end this with like words of encouragement. So, do you have any words of encouragement for someone who's thinking about starting a business or someone who's thinking about getting into marketing?
Just for anybody who is thinking about starting a business, uh, just know this ain't easy. It's not going to be easy. If you don't see it going anywhere, don't do it. Don't waste your time. Uh, Also, too, I want to stress that go get your education. Understand that ownership is key. Not just your business, but own your time, own your lifestyle. Dictate your every move in life, and you'll be all right.
All right. Thank you, my brother, for coming on this podcast. Once again, thank y'all for tuning in to this week's episode of Coach and Cigars. You can follow me and subscribe on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play. And also, it's on other platforms too. So if you just Google Coach and Cigars, it'll pop up. Once again, I want to thank Greg for letting us come up and host this podcast in Up and Smoke Cigar Lounge on 109 Hatchet Lane. I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been leaving me positive feedback and just keep on supporting the podcast. So thank you.